today. From Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia. It's Week 6 of the NFL on EA Sports.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. And a look here at their go-to guy under center.
And he's playing at a very high level here in this early part of the season. In fact, he leads the NFL in passing yards. Now, that's not always an indicator of success, but in his case, it is.
On first down, Richardson. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And it is incomplete. Good positioning there downfield to break that one up.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Back to throw. Richardson. Looking left side, and it's complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A big play there for the Dolphins.
We expected this defense to be tested by this passing game coming into this one, and there's an example on this first possession of the game.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Richardson. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So a costly penalty. Penalty yardage-wise, as that'll move the football down to the spot of the foul.
And what the officials are looking for in these situations, whether you're playing the man or the ball. And if you're playing the man, you get a lot less leeway in terms of what's going to happen at the end of the play. But if you're looking for the football, it's less likely to draw the flag.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Nash. Touchdown, Dolphins. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Dolphins are going to take a first-quarter lead. On paper coming in, you'd say that these guys are the better team by far, and they sort of showed their superiority there on the opening drive.
Yeah, they came in the heavy favorite in this game, and even though they're on the road, they just wiped it away, didn't they? They just said to everyone, we're the better team. We just showed it to you on this opening drive, and we expect to do it all game long.
Entering settings screen, you have 20 options. Menu narration option is set to off is selected.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Taken at the goal line. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. So here the Falcons now as they get set for their opening possession. And they will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback.
And I'll bet he's talking to his guys about resisting the temptation to try and turn this into an up-and-down game. Almost like basketball, where both teams press, and one team gets an advantage, the other team's trying to run with them, and they're just not equipped for it. Doesn't matter whether you're equipped or not. Just settle in, get calm before you go for the big strikes.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Back to throw. Poe. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down.
I thought there at the end he may have had a chance to release that, but that pocket closed a little too quickly, and down he went.
Yeah, he was certainly trying to do everything he could to extend the life of the play, probably counting in his head 1, 2, and then he ran out of time.
So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise. They're in the dime. Looking to throw. Poe into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 30, and his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. So, CD, his very first pass of the afternoon intercepted.
And I know that's a major surprise for any quarterback because, look, let's face it, no one thinks about throwing interceptions. But think about all the warm-up that we saw, right? Every pass he threw wasn't a single interception because, oh, that's right, there were no defenders out there. A little bit different when there's live guys out there chasing the football.
And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. The numbers for him from a week ago: 16 carries, 109 yards, and a touchdown.
Well, this is where it becomes a challenge for the offensive coordinator. He's got a bell cow at tailback right now, number 3 in the league in rushing, within shouting distance of the lead. But at the same time, if the passing game is open, he's got to take advantage of that too.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
And that's a nice pickup of a 1st down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
They'll run on 1st down. Singleton powering forward. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Dolphins have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead.
If you didn't know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now, you can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
Extra point right down the middle, and it's now 14-0. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And to cap it off, a touchdown run of 20 yards. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded right at the goal line. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. And he'll look to rebound from the early interception that led to 6 points the other way.
And when he threw the interception and he had to come to the sideline, I guarantee his first thought wasn't about the interception itself, but what could result. And I know he was thinking to himself, come on, defense, bail me out. Well, they weren't able to in this situation. Now he's got to go out and atone for it himself, but he can't force things.
These are his numbers from last week's contest. 16 carries, 53 yards.
I can't remember the last time we did a game and a coach didn't talk about establishing the run first. But they've lost 2 straight games, so they still want to do that, but they've got to have some contingencies, some other options. Expect them maybe to throw it a little bit to open up things and maybe run it a little bit more later in the game.
Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. Back to throw. Poe. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. And the defense coming through on 3rd down, a loss of 7 to bring up 4th.
Well, when you're down a couple of scores like this, CD, you can't afford too many plays that go in the wrong direction like that one.
Yeah, when you take a good look at it broadly, sacks are better than giving up an interception. But where they are on the scoreboard, they've got to get rid of all of that and just create positive plays for themselves in order to have a chance.
The Falcons send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. It's taken to the 26. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And it'll be Dolphin football. So now the Dolphins set to take over on offense. Remember, they're riding that 5-game winning streak, and right now in the driver's seat in this ball game as well. Good starting field position for the Dolphins as they have it 1st and 10 at their own 46. Throwing to start the drive. Richardson. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. That's caught inside the 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A big play there for the Dolphins.
They started this drive with terrific field position, and it's going to get even better after that play. Had great options with where they started, so they decided to press their advantage, and it paid off.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down.
From the gun, he'll hand this off.
He's down inside the 10 to the 8, and it comes on a gain of 8. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
This defense porous so far in this 1st quarter. They face another 1st and goal. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage.
So, CD, there didn't seem to be much resistance there down near the goal line.
Yeah, partner, from what I saw there, not a real good job of matching up defensively, because to me, they looked like they were just in their base 3-4 package. You need bigger bodies in there in a goal line type situation. The 3-4, fine between the 20s, but not down here when you're guarding your end zone.
So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the 1st as they kick this one away. Taking it about the 1. And he returns this to the 22.
And here now come the Falcons. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Looking to throw on second down. Poe. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up third.
That's 3 sacks now. That's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. The Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on third down. Looking to throw. Poe.
Open man is Kyle Pitts, his tight end. And he is going to have a Falcons first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Well, these guys certainly need something good to go their way because this first quarter has been something of a disaster for them trying to move the ball. But that completion there maybe can get them focused and moving in the right direction.
Here's a handoff out of the gun.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down. Now a handoff as they run left side. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
To throw on third down. Poe. And that is incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on third down.
The Falcons send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the second time. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
Now Richardson throwing on first down.
He'll let this go deep for Ruggs.
And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about.
So pass interference, the call is so tough as a defender, I'd imagine, to time that up perfectly.
It certainly is difficult to get it exactly right because sometimes you're looking at getting there fractions of seconds too early. That one looked a little more obvious. Always a tough penalty to officiate. Just ask the basketball refs when they have to officiate block and charge.
On first down, Singleton. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Are you serious, dog?
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now a play fake here on first down. He finds his man, complete. It's Nash. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10.
So a nice catch right there. And this receiving core, without their number 1 wideout, keep that in mind. He's inactive this week, though it shouldn't be a long-term absence.
And I would think, partner, that this is where an offensive coordinator believes he can solve the problem by spreading the ball around, because anytime you lose your number one guy, it's obviously a blow to your offense. But this is also an opportunity to say, hey, they can't focus on trying to stop one guy. Keep spreading it around. The last part, each one of those receivers.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there with his 13th touchdown of the year and second of the game. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Now, first quarter, and this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. They better be careful on the other sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing and that team can't get the ball over half court. I mean, it's stealing it and scoring it, layups, the whole deal. That's what it feels like right now. They are all over them.
Now for the point after. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone.
So this not what we expected. 28-0 here in the first as another kickoff is away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here, picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
2nd and 10.
Back to throw. Poe. Oh, the ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted.
Picked up by Javon Holland.
And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right.
Now the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown.
So plenty of fireworks here early, 35-0 now as the kick is away. This taken in at the goal line. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. Bottom line, he's got to figure things out. He's completed 3 passes, but 2 of them have been to the wrong team so far.
And when we talk about the best quarterbacks, we're usually talking about touchdown to interception ratio, aren't we? And 2 to 1 is acceptable, but the top line guys 3 to 1 or better is what they're looking for. Now we're talking about interceptions versus completions. That's not a ratio should ever be in any discussion.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Hands it off out of the gun. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. The Falcons on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphin shaken up on the play. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Off play action. Poe. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
Go! 56, the mark, ball, 56, shot 56.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 27-yard line. Now the Dolphins are going to halt the act. Here, it's a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
56, Mike, 56, right there, 56.
Looking to throw. Poe. Got this complete to the tight end Pitts. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred the defense.
8th play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on 3rd down. Back to throw. Poe. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Javon Holland. And the Dolphins are going to take over here up near the 40. 3 first-half interceptions now, and Charles, you'd have to think a fair amount of concern is developing over there on that sideline.
And there should be, because essentially he's been a little loose and possibly reckless with the football here in the first half. Now, maybe it's not all on him, but still 3 interceptions. That puts the entire team in jeopardy. So the play caller from here on out got to design some throws for him that he can complete, keep it away from the defense, and try and get him back on track.
He's going to launch this thing way downfield. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So, Charles, you look at this offense, what a start to the season. 5 wins without a loss. When do you think that you start believing that maybe you're in the midst of something special?
Well, you and I both know every head coach never wants that thought to creep into a locker room. But the truth of the matter is, not quite at this time, because if we look at the Steelers in 2020, they're a great example. Remember, they started 11-0. Then lost 5 of 6 and went out in the first round. But I think if you get toward mid-November, the Thanksgiving time frame, and you're still doing this, that's when things start to get real for a ball club.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Well, you know, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, the so-called unnamed sources that were saying all is not rosy in that locker room. There's whispers that 1 or 2 guys, CD, have kind of had enough of how things are going and have been going. How would you handle? Got a man, it's caught inside the 10.
And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. It's a big play there for Miami.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Watch a slant, watch a slant, watch a slant, watch a shift.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
It's a nice second effort we just saw there. So I'm trying to get to the end zone, but a lot of times near the goal line, that second effort can lead to disaster. Make sure you hold on to the football because there's going to be guys swarming when you're carrying it.
Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half.
And the Dolphins are able to widen their lead here in this first half.
Point after, right down the middle. And it is 42-0. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25.
Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. He struggled. His team has struggled. You talked to me a lot about looking to your leaders. Maybe it's time for him to put his mark on this game.
Agreed.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 45. Then he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line.
Well, we heard all week that they were going to put the football in the air a lot. The problem is that is now 4 interceptions, Charles, that he has thrown in this first half. How do you treat a situation? What do you say to your quarterback right now?
Boy, that's an interesting question because a lot of it depends on the head coach and the people making the decisions. You have to know your quarterback and know if he's mentally tough enough to have a chance to turn it around. Or is he a guy that maybe you've seen enough and it's time to go to the backup? But right now what you're rooting for is your defense to help keep you in the game, to give him an opportunity to get back on track.
And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11.
Check, 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 check. Check safety, check safety.
And they give this time to the tailback. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Some good strong running right there, some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
Here's 2nd and 2 now from the 3.
We got 4.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Dolphins have got it on cruise control.
Well, I'll say one thing, Charles. You're getting really good practice here in breaking down touchdowns. What did you see there?
Well, the same thing I've seen over and over and over in this first half. My scintillating analysis, Brandon, this offense is absolutely taking no prisoners.
Extra point splits the uprights, and a rout is on here in this first half. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37.
Javon Holland coming up to make the stop.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
On 3rd down, Poe. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Offensively lucky they're able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
So a good punt there, but a very strong 14-yard return.
And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10.
Here we go, D. Hey, just 19, Tiger, 19, Tiger. Just me and you. Joker.
They'll run on 1st down. Singleton. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back down and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Now this throw caught left side. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
On 3rd down, it's Blake. This offense, #1 in the NFL in picking up 1st downs, and their run game got him another one there.
A really good stat to lead the league in, isn't it? Because if you keep picking up 1st downs, sustaining drives, that means you're controlling the football, controlling the clock, and letting your defense rest on the sidelines.
2 minutes remaining in this 1st half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL.
Kill 70 Lion. Kill, turn up.
On 1st down, Singleton. And down inside the 15 he goes.
63 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this 1st half.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside, and so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
And here he'll get it down to the 7. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright.
And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great play there. On his way to a monster game, 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Dolphins just continue to pour it on. This is becoming quite the half he's had here.
Remember in our pregame meetings, they talked about wanting to run the football and staying with it? Well, when you're scoring this many touchdowns, there's no reason to go away from it, is there? They are off to a fantastic start. They hope it continues.
3 already for him. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And in a spot like this, still more than a minute, I think if you put something on the board before halftime, that would go a long way towards helping them get back into the game.
There actually is something to the psychology of the game at times, isn't there? How much better would they feel running into the locker room, as you noted, with something on the board in a positive fashion? You're exactly right. It's a great opportunity to get that done.
Throwing on first down. Poe. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the first down sack.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Looking to throw. Poe. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. They get to him for a loss of 4, and it brings up 3rd down on the sack.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe with a run. And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. The Falcons send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. 35 yards that time on the punt, and there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they'll have time for one play. There's 2 seconds on the clock. Richardson, a final shot before break. His throw incomplete. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. A few teams starting to rise to the top as it's time to take you around the NFL here in Week 6. We'll begin our trip around the NFL with an interesting one right off the bat, and it's the Raiders out in front as they approach halftime. The Raiders seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. From there, we head down to the Sunshine State to check on the Jaguars at home in Jacksonville. And at this point, they trail the visiting Baltimore Ravens. Marquise Brown, 2 touchdown catches on the afternoon. Lastly, we head to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough to check on the Patriots. And they've reached halftime, all tied. 17-all is the score. Meanwhile, our game has been a boat race. Very one-sided to this point. And for the call to second.
It'll be Falcons football, and they trail here as we get back underway on EA Sports. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. Any surprise in your mind he's out there to start the second half after 4 first-half interceptions?
Used to be surprised by a lot of things, partner, but in this case I'm not, because you know they want him to be their guy. And the only way to truly establish that is to give him a chance to work through some of the issues he had in the first half. Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence?
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards, a 12-yard loss, and it brings up third. He is proving his worth defensively, getting the sack here. That comes after being named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance in last week's game.
He's stacking games together, isn't he? I mean, you just mentioned what he did the previous week to be named AFC Defensive Player of the Week, continuing to play at that level. And when you get that kind of confidence going, those kind of guys are hard to stop.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Under pressure, they got him again. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. And it's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. The Falcons send out their punter as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Taken right around the 44. A good work bringing that one back as he picks up about 16 on the return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. And to give this time to the tailback. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
We got three, fellas, we got 3.
On 2nd down, it's Mullins, and nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is 3rd down. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the 1st at the 32. 7 yards on the carry there, but now they're staring at 4th down.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2. Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. Surprised at all that they went with a fullback there?
Not at all, because it harkened back to the days where we watched these games almost in black and white, right? The stocky guy, the strong guy, the powerful guy with leg drive. Give him the football, and even if the blocking isn't perfect, he has the ability to scatter bodies and move people enough to pick up 1st downs. That's what we just saw right there.
They'll run on first down. Singleton down to about the 22 here. 70 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They run the counter. It's Sharp, and they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he gets this inside the 10 to the 9. It's also a gain of 9.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Just a yard to go here on 2nd down.
Get in the weight room. Mike 3, Mike 3. Combo. 6-man.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the 1st down.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. A good display of power, but ultimately it gets him just inside the 5 to the 4 and no further. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
Well, Brendan, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
want 2.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the 2nd one.
And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Calling a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. It's the fullback with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Dolphins have got it on cruise control. Well, nothing And now before we get to the extra point, remember all touchdowns do have to be confirmed by the replay official.
After review the play, the rule on the field is reversed.
So take away the touchdown. The officials rule he did not get the football to break the plane. And no move to take the offense on the field. They're going to stay out there and go for it on 4th and goal. And again, they'll go right back to their fullback. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Dolphins just continue to pour it on. Extra point right down the middle, and the lead will swell by 1 more. So that drive, 12 plays in length, and it winds up in 6 points for the Dolphins. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Taken at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Poe. And now here's another interception. Picked up by Javon Holland. And this one will be brought back to the 22. Yes, folks, that is his 3rd interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around a defense, maybe not a specific assignment. Today, his assignment, find the football, and he's done so quite well.
Let's go, D, let's go.
On 1st down, Singleton. And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. 88 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
That was a good run, and it got to the 2nd level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. 1st level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
Stay with your man. 0-0, Mike Green. Set the tone.
On 2nd down now, it's Mullins. And here he'll get it down to the 7.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end.
Ready up, 3. Mike 3. Watch the run, watch the run. Mike 3, let's go.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal.
Mike 3. Bring it. 3. We're pretty quiet.
They'll try to run this one in, and he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Dolphins use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Point after, right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision, loses him about 4 yards. Atlanta prepped and readied for its next possession. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And to give this time to the tailback. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Three quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. From the gun, Poe. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
31's the mic. Silver. 31's the mic. Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys.
Operating from the gun. Poe. They look for Pitts again. This time he's got it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
On 1st and 10, Poe. Quick hitter here is complete. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Again, he'll drop to throw. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd. Remember, they had the nice gain on the previous play, but they just gave a lot of it back right there on that sack.
Yeah, they get the sack, get back some real estate. Felt like the type of play that can spark a defense and swing some momentum. Almost felt like a take-that type of a play, didn't it, partner?
And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
And this will pin him back deep. That's going to kick out of bounds right at about the 7-yard line. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him.
103 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on. That offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
They'll run on first down. Sharp, and he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Coming up on a 2nd and 6.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
first down. Singleton. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Now a handoff here to his running back. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere. Again. The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Gonna give this time to the tailback. Finds a seam inside the 40 and down to the 28-yard line.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 as they've got it to the 28-yard line. And he'll give it here to his running back. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo. Let's make these babies cry all the way back home.
They run the counter. It's sharp. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3.
Double up, double up. He's coming, double up. Check it back.
They'll keep it on the ground. Sharp. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Oh.
yard that time. 2nd and goal. They'll keep it on the ground. Mullins down at the 2. Broke through first contact, but ultimately stopped shy of the goal line. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to set up a 3rd and goal.
Well, they made the play there, and I'll guarantee you their coaches and the other players are screaming at them about their pride. Come on, guys. He's already gotten in 3 times. You can't give up a 4th one. And on that play, they were able to make the stop.
And you knew they were going to go to him to try to get that 4th.
And why wouldn't they? It's not just getting the 4th. He's the hot hand, so to speak, right? The hot feet in this situation, and he knows how to find the end zone. That time, he just didn't get there.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They've got it 3rd and goal here as they try to finish off their victory. They'll try to run this one in, and they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Just power football there down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come in, have to report like they're eligible, but all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. The Falcons ready to take over. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat.
On 1st down, Poe. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off right around the 43. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And, gosh, you look up at the scoreboard. They just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. They'll run on 1st down. Singleton. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line.
At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
On 1st down, it's Blake. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Well, they'll take that every time with a lead. 1st down, 4th quarter, getting 8 yards. You love that.
They will take it, and you have to ask the defensive guys, why did you give it? I mean, you know the situation. You're down, have to stop them, have to get the football back, but 8 yards on 1st down puts them back on their heels.
And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left.
Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more, a little insult to injury here late in the game. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over. So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for Miami, they remain as hot as anyone, 6-0 now through the first month and a half. And they'll return home next week to take on the Carolina Panthers. Meanwhile, for the Falcons, the losses are piling up as they drop to 1-5 now. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.